Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Andrea.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so super excited you're back. I love that we were chatting earlier. So we're going into the recording studio tonight, and my friends are singing a new song about inflation. So it takes me a little while. The videos take a really long time, so be patient, but we have a new song coming out. I'm so super pumped.
So fun. So fun.
So fun. So I'm so glad you're back. I kind of wanted to talk to you. I know you're like on your beginning journey of crypto. How long have you been in the crypto market now?
A really long time since like October.
Okay, it seems like a really long time.
I
That's not a
know.
long time. You're a newbie.
No, I was kidding. That was a joke. Yeah.
I gotcha. I gotcha. But you've learned so much in a short period of time.
I
Like
fast tracked.
you fast tracked
Yes.
because you see what's going on in the world. We're moving into a new economy.
Yes.
And it's just like I love your enthusiasm. I love, how much time you've allotted to learn about all these different projects. You got like the crash course with like our little private group and with Take Action for Freedom. It's been awesome.
Yes.
So
H bar was super exciting this week.
super exciting. So we're gonna do a deep dive into H bar. And again, it's like I've been telling everybody that first leg of the bull run, it was really all about artificial intelligence, obviously meme coins. But when we talk about actually changing, the economy and our financial system, we're talking about the tokenization of real world assets. That's the next narrative of the next leg of the bull run.
Yeah.
Tokenizing real world assets on the blockchain.
And they're going
So
to tokenize everything, aren't they?
they're going to
Real estate,
tokenize
everything.
everything, everything.
That's what's
So, it's hard for us, right, to wrap our heads around like the amount of growth that we're going to go through. Because
right.
when you look up that website, that real world asset tokenization website, it shows about 1.2 billion that's currently tokenized. Our treasuries, we could see kind of who's leading that market right now. And it's Ethereum, it's Stellar. And then we had an announcement
Yeah.
about BlackRock using Hedera Hashgraph to tokenize one of their treasuries, right? And the funny thing is, it's like, then you have all these news articles like Telegraph saying BlackRock didn't know anything about the tokenization of the Treasury fund. And they did.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
they
yeah.
said they didn't.
Right. The news article, the media is constantly lying to us.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it's getting outrageous, right? So,
Right.
you know, it's getting outrageous, right? So the news of the tokenization of the treasury, what happened to Hedera? Went up like 99%. Right?
Was crazy.
It was
I
so
was
crazy.
very happy I invested in more in debt.
We always are going to wish we invested more, but this is a good learning experience. Crypto market moves really fast based on news, right? We got the news come out,
Right.
and I was like, whoa, Hedera's up 40%. And then a little later on, it was up 70. And then I'm like, I kept checking the price to see if it was going to hit like 100% because I like to take screenshots and,
Right.
share them with the group. But it's like,
Did you see the other day of like in a row, like 10 Hedera updates on crypto exchanges? It was crazy.
it was crazy. So super exciting
H bar
day.
is up, H bar is up.
Yeah, H bar's up, H bar's on the move.
Yes.
Right. So it was a great day for Hedera, but we are just beginning to tokenize real world assets, right? And that's like the whole point of this is like we're at 1.2 billion. We're going into the trillions. It's not going to happen overnight, probably not going to happen in this cycle, but I'm an investor, you're an investor. Like, I'm not a trader.
Right.
I'm not going to be like flipping these coins like constantly. Because one, you pay short-term capital gains tax. Who makes the money? The government. You know, if you hold your tokens for a year, you're paying long-term capital gains tax. And if you believe in some of these projects, you know, you're buying throughout the bear market, you're holding these tokens for a year or longer, and then your dollar cost averaging out in profit.
Averaging out of them.
Yeah.
That's what I need to focus a lot on too, is to dollar cost average out. Because I
Yeah.
didn't cost average in the first lot of money, and now I am.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I kind of got my base of it.
and you get super excited, right? You get super, super excited. You want to, you know, you want to be a part of this growing ecosystem. It's hard not to FOMO in, fear of missing out, right?
And I, I've never done all of this without you. Like I weekly, sometimes 2 or 3 times weekly calls just to figure things out. You were just the best. So
I
still are,
appreciate
of
it.
course.
Of course. You know, but look, we got we got your Cardano staked, your Hedera staked, your Songbird, your Flare. You know, I mean, it's really nice, especially when you see, you know, we have Hedera. You can, there's an app on your phone, you can download the wallet. It's called Hashpack.
Hashtag. Yes.
And then every day you can go in and you earn rewards every single day because you're staking your Hedera on their network with one of the validator nodes. And it's a good learning experience because when you go to, right, when you go to the validator nodes, it's the real deal. You have centralized entities governing a decentralized platform, which makes me giggle, right? Because it's not decentralized at all. But this is where we are in the cycle.
I have a question for you. And
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows, but you know, you can use, you know, if you have a self-directed IRA or whatever, you can also put that into crypto, like with iTrust Capital.
Yeah.
And then I want to know, I mean, that's been a big, like as far as a tax savings for me. Can you also do that on, can you also state anything, or technically no?
I
Like
don't,
if I have Hedera in my retirement account.
right. I don't think you could, I don't think you can stake once you put your Hedera in iTrust. I don't think you can stake with them. But there's people that work
It's
there,
kind of
right?
like just a,
What's that? We're still
right. I
glitching a
meant to
little
ask
bit.
yesterday when I talked to them. I
Yeah, just
know. Sorry, might be
I
my
know.
uh crazy. Well, I've just been putting money into there. My last 2 contributions for 23 and 24. I just contributed in there so I can use that to invest a little bit too. So I usually do it on my real estate side of things, but right now, you know, I put it in that fund, but I've been doing it in crypto fund because I want to get every bit into that while we can.
No, totally.
So,
Yeah.
but I'm super excited about just everything coming up. But the tokenization kind of is a little crazy.
Yeah, it's a
So
little crazy. So we need patience. It takes a really long time. The whole entire financial system is getting an upgrade to the blockchain. This takes a lot of time. But the cool thing is we're starting to see, you know, white papers and pilot studies. Now we're starting to see actual adoption, right? These are live, like with Hedera, it's a money market fund. This is live on BlackRock. You can actually go to OUSG and you could go and you could buy into this fund. So these are like, this is a real live adoption. So we're making progress and it's super
so
exciting.
when do you think, I mean, we hear about it. We hear about it because we read the, you know, certain things, but when do you think it'll be actually adopted, like on the financial system, maybe after the election or maybe further out than that?
I see this happening now, to be honest with you. So, you know, it's like We have Ethereum.
So they can say that we're in a. So they can say that we're not in a inflationary period.
They can't say that. Inflation numbers came out today for price consumer index. It's bad. The inflation numbers are high. The GDP missed big time. It was a big loss. I think I wrote down the numbers. I can share them with everybody. So it just happened this morning. GDP growth rate was at 1.6%. They were expecting 2.4. That's a big miss. If you check the stock market and crypto prices, everything is down. The PCE, which is the price consumer inflation numbers, this is the biggest gain we had all year. So now we're at 3.4%. High inflation, economy is slowing down. This isn't good. This is like a bad mixture. But we have a lot of good things going on. And adoption's going to continue. If inflation numbers keep running hot month over month, Bitcoin, gold, that's a hedge, right? So that's why we want to diversify into some of these assets. Yeah.
Oh, I have to tell you something. I had, I meant to tell you this earlier, but I had like $100 in Cash App, and probably 6 or 8 months ago, I put it into a Bitcoin, and I just not cashed out, but transferred it over to my wallet, and I transferred out like $140, which was a lot. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's a hedge. It actually showed I hedged, like $140 versus $100 is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, it was just something I had, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? It's $100. So I just put it on a Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden I'm like, so I went to cash out, and instead of $100, it was like $142 or something crazy like that. So I just put it in my wallet. So
right on. And what a great way that I mean, this is how we protect ourselves, right?
That's what you've been telling me forever. That's how we're going to hedge against inflation. One of the few ways you can do that, besides gold and silver. And so, but you're so smart with all of your advice. It's crazy.
Thanks.
She's a smart one.
It's not financial advice.
Never financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes.
It's for entertainment purposes, and it's also for research, right? I was an IT recruiter for over 20 years. I can see what's going on. I'm encouraging everyone. Here's a list of all projects. Do some research because, hey, look, you had $100 in your Cash App. You just converted it into Bitcoin, and now you got 140.
Is that crazy? Yeah.
Kind of crazy, and it's funny how like
it's sitting there, and I thought, well, Bitcoin's going higher. Maybe I'll just cash that and put it in my wallet. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
it's pretty cool, right? And it's such, it's such a good way too, because like for people listening who don't have a lot of extra cash, why not park it into an asset that is going up in value? If you're parking, your $100 just in the bank, what are you making? 10 cents or zero, right? So it's
zero.
You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
And just to kind of circle back,
that kind of brought it to full circle. Like when I did that, I'm like, wow. So if you only had maybe $100 every couple of weeks, or $50 or whatever, and you just constantly dollar cost average in like that, that was a game changer to me. I mean, I've invested a lot more money apparently in, but that was just something I had sitting there. So it was pretty crazy.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. And it's funny because we get so used to Bitcoin now being in the $60,000 range. So before we hopped on our call, I went to Bitcoin's chart. We're up over 50% just in the price of Bitcoin over the last 90 days.
Crazy.
Yeah. And we were 20 grand over the summer. So, again, this isn't we're not going to get rich quick, but it's not even so much about, even for me, like getting rich. It's like, I want to protect my wealth that I've worked all my
Right.
life to generate, and I want to make sure my family's okay and share the knowledge. Like, we can become our own bank. We do have a new financial economy. Like, everyone, all the media, all the people, and all these big corporations were saying Bitcoin's a scam. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan, it's a pet rock. He literally said Bitcoin's a pet rock. You know what I mean?
And now
It's not, right. Now it's not. And now, I think by 2025, we're going to see all the banks hold Bitcoin as
yes,
part of their treasury,
right.
So
I think it'll also go on. I think it's also going to go on the, all of the Fidelity and, different retirement exchanges as an option to buy.
yep. And it's a global asset. This isn't just for the United States. We got next week, Hong Kong's launching their spot Bitcoin ETF and their spot Ethereum ETF. Next week that goes live. And
What do you
it's
think
cool.
that'll do to Bitcoin?
I don't know. I mean, Bitcoin, we're still in this consolidation, but we're going sideways phase. The
Right. But I
United,
just wonder what, like, when Hong Kong releases theirs, if it's going to pump it a bit.
we're going to find out.
Right.
In theory, you would think that, the inflows are coming in. It's really nice. They're doing in kind. So you buy Bitcoin, you can actually get Bitcoin out. That's not how the United States allowed, their spot Bitcoin
Right.
ETF. You got to sell it for cash. Talk about Hong Kong versus United States. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
crazy. I know. This is where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to
Yep.
circle back with Hedera real quick with your iTrust. So you can have Hedera in your iTrust, right, for tax purposes, but also keep some on your Hashpack wallet to keep earning money, right? To keep earning those rewards.
Right. I have it in both. I have maybe 20% in my iTrust, and then the rest is in regular. But when the market dipped a little bit, I decided to dollar cost average in a little bit. And now I'm glad I did.
Yeah, right. I know.
More, yeah.
It was crazy.
So,
It is crazy. Yeah. So good times. But again, it's like, you know, I think about Hedera and I think about what companies are holding their nodes, and are those companies building projects using Hedera Hashgraph? And the answer is
right.
yes. And we have Nomura, LG, Boeing, IBM, Google, Mondelez, ServiceNow. And it's like, these are big time Fortune 500 companies that are working collaboratively with Hedera to launch projects on their network. And it's just super important that we understand this because we are just beginning. So you could break
Just
down
beginning, right?
you break down all these different projects and how Hedera can provide solutions in a scalable, transparent, super cheap way. Transactions on Hedera's network is super cheap, super cheap. So, when we're sending Ethereum back and forth,
Oh
fees
yeah,
are
I
so
think
high.
yesterday I transferred. It's crazy. Maybe $3,000 worth, and it was 14 cents for my transaction fee. 14 cents.
Yep.
Whereas other things I'm paying, a lot of money to transfer. So
Yeah.
they're
It gets
transfer.
out of control.
Yeah.
Yep. And just wait till the bull run. And when we want to go and transfer Ethereum to take some profits, well, we're going to be paying hefty fees, right? Because,
Yes.
and moving forward, when if Ethereum does, drop in price, which I still feel like we're going to have one more correction, probably sometime in May. I mean, guys, I'm speculating. I have no idea. No one knows, right? No one knows, right? We can
I
have an
hope so.
event. Right. I know. We're all
One
educated.
more.
One
I'm
more
still
dip.
hoping for one more big dip. So one more buying dip.
One more buying dip. you know, but I love it. I love it. And it's just like, again, it's like just wrapping my head around what's happening. You know, we got that story with Hedera. It was so fun. I'm watching the New York Rangers ice hockey playoff game with my parents this weekend, and they're interviewing the fun, right? They're interviewing the players at the end of the game, and you see all these advertisements. And I saw like after each interview, they flashed Service Now, the company Service Now, and all I could
Okay.
think about is like Hedera Hashgraph, Hedera Hashgraph.
Yes.
to-
Yes.
Tokenizing and digitizing workflows, right? So it's like, you know, we have like our tokenized portfolios right now, and soon it'll just be our portfolio because everything is going to be tokenized, right? Like you said, stocks, bonds, commodities, real estate, or medical records.
So what does that mean when it's tokenized? What does that mean to you?
So let's say I want to buy like this new fund with Hedera Hashgraph, right? I want to put some money in treasuries, and I buy the OUSG tokenized fund. And you know what, how BlackRock has this set up is like I can go on, I could buy the fund, and they take the token, they're taking the real world asset and they're tokenizing it, putting it into digital form, and then they have a wallet, right?
Okay.
So all it is taking a real world asset, putting it into digital form or tokenizing it. And that's, you know, again, stored on the blockchain. And then I'm holding my asset in a wallet, right?
Okay.
And that's proof of ownership. So that token is ownership of that United States Treasury fund.
So do you think, is it more all about control, the tokenization, or like,
What was it?
what do you
Repeat
think? Is
that.
it,
You
I'm sorry,
glitched
is it
out.
more all about, sorry, is it more all about like a control thing and why they're tokenizing everything, or?
Right. So I mean, with centralized, the way the world works now is that everything is know your customer. Everything has to be in compliance with the United States government. So, you know, when we look at adoption of blockchain, especially with large institutions, everything has to be compliant. And
Right.
you know, so everything is going to be know your customer. So for me, it's the same old thing. It's fine. You know, it's just when they start to not let you move your money, but we're not there
Right.
yet. Sometimes we're
Okay.
there.
Right.
You know, I had a client reach out to me. He has a bunch of crypto on Robinhood, and that's not an exchange I recommend. But, you know, again, you know, we all get excited. We all didn't know each other back in the day. And like Robinhood was like, look, we've restricted your account. You can't move your Bitcoin and other crypto to your wallet. You have to sell it. And then you could put your cash back in your bank account. And
Wow.
that's not cool, right? If this is the future of like controlling over the like how we want to move and store our value, that's not okay. So
Right.
hopefully we'll have these rules and regulations. We have a new stable coin bill. I talked about that last week. Hopefully all of this will smooth out and we'll be able to move our money freely, right?
Right.
Without overly controlling our money, because we need
Right.
permission to use our money. So for me, I wouldn't use Robinhood. I would use Coinbase, use Uphold, crypto.com, get your money and get your money off. Get an Engrave wallet. You know, if you don't own that, you know, Engrave's pretty hefty price. It's like $400. But if you own a lot of crypto, make the investment, right?
Right.
But there's
Yeah.
cheaper.
You told me that originally, and it's a great investment, especially for like holding the long-term coins and making
Ex-
sure it's safe. And
exactly. It's like if you're like me and you're never planning on selling your Bitcoin, you know, you want it on the best security wallet, and that's Engrave, right? They have that EAL7 plus security, better than like your Visa card. So, and it's
Right.
offline, it's air gapped, it's got a nice 4-inch screen. It's great. And then, you know, for swapping tokens back and forth, I've always used SafePal. They're centralizing that. You know, I have so many clients reach out to me and say, hey, Andrea, I can't swap my Ethereum for USDC. So you know, and it's a sign that we're early and it will be controlled. And then eventually, if they do a lot of shenanigans with their money, people will rise and they'll find a different way to like exchange goods and services. I mean,
But you're thinking SafePal's still okay for right now.
I still use it. You know, it's like I moved all my stuff off a Ledger because, you know, that was like an issue back in the day. Um, there's even like Tangent wallet where you have like it looks like a credit card. That's supposed to be pretty good. I'm going to be looking into other ones, but you know, as we move into this
I have
next leg,
SafePal and Engrave, but
yeah,
so
right. And as our wealth grows, we want to keep diversifying it. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'll keep everybody posted with it, but you know, again, it's just we can't, if we have our money at Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan Chase, it's all centralized. And we're going
right.
through this transition. It's going to take time. Let's see how this plays out. Even if we can be our own bank, we're going to have to, you know, if we want to cash out, get those goods and services. And if they force us to convert it into a United States stable coin, then that's going to be centralized because it
Right.
is. So we're going to
Right.
navigate and we're going to do the best we can. And let's see, you know, we got to reach out to our senators, the representatives, and know, hey, we're watching you and we're educated. We
I'll
know
go
what
with you.
this,
We'll march up to the White House.
there's a lot of crypto people that are saying, they're basically saying like, look, we need to start doing this because again, Senator Warren, she was interviewing one of the admirals, right, from the United States Army. And, you know, this is like a congressional hearing under oath. And she's saying how Russia and or Iran is using the money to like build bombs and all of these things. And if you actually listen, the admirals are responding about deep fakes and how they're making videos and they're scamming who I am as a person. That has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. It
No.
disgusts me. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. You know, this right versus left, the red versus blue, it's all an illusion. They're all bad. Not all, but most of them are in there. They're all bought and paid for. It's disgusting. So we need to go
It's
through this.
funding that, whatever that is, you know, like who has supported that that, you know, article or commercials and things like that is how it's going to go. Whoever,
Well,
if that makes sense, like
yeah. And I
kind of
mean,
going off of like, you're going to hear what that person supporting that ad or paying for that ad wants you to hear.
exactly. And Senator Warren, she's bought and paid for by the banks. So of course
Right.
she's against crypto. She's
Right.
hardcore against crypto. We got to take a step back and be like, are you against freedom? Are you
Right.
against, you know, like I get,
Control, yeah.
right. And I get that we need to be transparent, you know, but we also need privacy. We need both. You
Right.
know, we can have both and
We still earn
flourish.
the money and pay taxes on it. So,
Right.
you know, we should, you know, be
Right.
so controlled. But
Which,
anyway,
right. It shouldn't be normalized. Right. And that's kind of what I see happening. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully things are going to work out for the best for humanity. Otherwise, we'll have to have a global awakening. And I think it will
right.
happen. But you know, we'll see how it plays out, you know. But yeah, so I'm super stoked about Hedera. I know you are too. The other
Me too.
the other project we've been talking about is Ondo Finance. So I encourage
Yeah.
everyone, go to Ondo Finance's website. They have a great article from Bank of America's security division that was posted back in 2023. And they talk about tokenization as the new infrastructure evolution. And Ondo and Hedera and Stellar and Ethereum and Maple Finance and Centrifuge and Goldfinch and XDC and XRP Ledger, they're all a part of this. There's a long list of companies that are tokenizing real world assets. Algorand has a project called Lofty that was built on top of Algorand's blockchain, tokenizing real estate. So all of these projects are starting to release, real world asset tokenization. I'm so bullish on it. I can't.
Yes.
I'm so excited because I know we're in the
I
beginning.
know. Yeah. Excited
I love
for
it.
sure.
Yeah. So we're on the verge of this new evolution. And I think about the tokenization of the Treasury market. I mean, you were like, what's the dates? It's happening now, and it's going to increase quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter. It's just going to keep increasing.
Kind of scary.
Kind of scary,
Uh-huh.
but in a good way.
In a good way, yes.
In a good way. Like, think about how many people like don't even know how to buy United States treasuries if they want to add it to their portfolio. Something like a Wisdom Tree Prime, everything is in one app. You can allocate money to tokenized treasuries. You can allocate money to digital gold, to cryptocurrency, to your dollar. You can pay your bills. You can receive your paycheck. Like, our banking system's changing, so it's really interesting to watch this all learn, and learn together, so it's kind of really fun. Right? Because this is all new. This is new stuff, distributed ledger technology, blockchain technology. It's all new.
Yes.
But it's allowing for financial inclusion for everyone. We're democratizing our financial system so people, who always wanted to own a piece of real estate, but didn't have the down payment, didn't have the good credit report, well, now you can. You can just own like $500 of property and earn rewards on that for rent or whatever it may be. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very.
So what else you got for me? Any more questions, or should I just keep rambling?
You can keep rambling. Let's see what else. I don't know. I've loved Hedera this week for sure.
Of course you do. We all do. And
I'm
even on the dip, if you go back and look at the 7-day chart for Hedera, went up 99%, then it comes back down when we had some FUD article. But then it's like, okay, we're still up 50% this week. So let's keep things in perspective. We go up, we hit the peak, we come down, we go sideways. Are we higher than where we started? The answer is usually yes. Go sideways, accumulation, and then we go back up. And I think, like, even if we move sideways for the next 3, 4, 5 months, we just accumulate, because again, it's like when Hedera hits 18 cents, when you've been buying it at 6, 8, 9 cents, you don't want to buy it anymore. So, it's like you got to just don't FOMO in when the market goes up 100%. That's not the time to buy a project. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
For sure.
So, to get back to that Bank of America article, with technology, it speeds up the amount of adoption that can happen in a much shorter period of time. So they were saying in the next 5 to 15 years, and this was published 2023, we'll see all the markets get tokenized, right? Disruptive innovation in 5 to 15 years. It took like email and television and radio like 30 years. So we're cutting that adoption cycle in half. right? So, and maybe even like 75%. So we're going to keep
Wow.
an eye on it. But again, when I look at Jenny Jones from Franklin Templeton, she loves Bitcoin, right? She's the CEO of Franklin Templeton Investments, but she also said that Bitcoin's the greatest distraction because of the tokenization of real world assets. This is where so much money is going to flow into. So
Exciting time.
it's so exciting. It's so exciting. And I want to do a deeper dive on Lofty because I started talking about Proppy. Who knows? It was like 15, 20 cents. It's like $4 now, $3-4. So
Remember
let's
you
look.
telling me, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. So we'll take a look at Lofty. There's always going to be another project. We're just starting. It's like I always say, I'm like a kid in the candy store, right? Like you and I are shooting projects
oh
back and
yeah,
forth to each other. And it's pretty cool. It's really cool. So, we'll take a look at Lofty. And again, it's good validation to know that this is happening.
whether we want it to or not, it's happening.
We need to start thinking outside of terms of US dollars. Inflation is going up and up. We print $1 trillion every 90 days. What happens, Brenda, when we have to print $1 trillion once a month to pay our minimum balance?
Crazy.
It's the
Just,
only,
just ridiculous.
and it's the only thing we're going to do. That's what we always have done historically. We're just going to keep printing money.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, I don't want the devastation of inflation to like ruin all of our lives. Let's just transition into the new financial economy and we hodl. We hold on for dear life. That's why I picked the website. Our band name is the Hodlers because we're holding on for dear life because we know we're moving into a new financial economy. Yeah. I love it.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, that's all I got this week. Do you have anything else for me while we wrap up here?
Nope. I'm good.
All right. Well, I love it. And thanks so much for coming on to the show again.
Thank you for having me.
Until next week, what do we always say, Brenda?
Hodl on.
Hodl on, y'all.